Get on the side of righteousness, because the dam is going to breach. It's all going to turn. And then what's going to happen is that what's being exposed is this climate hoax. This whole idea that these rulers of the world are benevolent, altruistic. These are the good guys that are going to, they're working for God because they're going to save God's creation, the earth. And these same ones have suppressed clean technology because it's all about control of the population. You understand? Just because something isn't directly money, like oil, it's still a fungible asset. It's as good as gold, like they say. It's as good as money. So any commodity out there, that's what the Wall Street and the stock market is based on. All these fungible assets that are easily traded for, it's all mathematically calculated immediately. What's the dollar value? It's the dollars. It's all translated into money. What's the gold? What's the gold worth in terms of dollars? Everything's based on money. So with the oil being one of the interests these people have, they're not interested in being rendered irrelevant. Oil being their money. And if you had this technology that's been suppressed, had been revealed and not suppressed and brought out into the open, then they couldn't use the excuse that humanity is, causing CO2 levels to rise, right? So our carbon footprint is destroying the earth with these greenhouse gases. We're causing the earth to warm, and that's going to cause destruction of the ice caps, and we're going to cause flooding of the oceans, and we're going to have these horrendous storms. We're going to have droughts and famine in the land, and then we're going to lose all control. So, one way or another, Mother Nature's going to do her thing, and going to thin the herd by these disasters that we're causing because of our negative impact on the earth of what we're doing in burning CO2. And we're all beginning to understand it's all lies. Nobody believes these people anymore. And they keep acting like somebody's listening to them or believing it. It's just like the banking takeover of '08, where 90% of the American people, purportedly 90% plus, were against the banking bailout, euphemistically called a bailout, a takeover that was quite deliberate, intentional. It imposed debt, and there's no hope for generations to come that we're ever going to get out of this debt because there's no incentive to come out of the debt, just to heap more and more debt on and debased our currency further and further and further, and just enslave our population, our children, their children's children forever, in perpetuity. If they get away with the Ponzi scheme forever, that's all it is. But the American people intuitively knew this was wrong. Even if they know a damn thing about finances and economics, they knew this was not capitalism, that capitalism involves risks. And all these people that overextended themselves, they aren't too big to fail, all of them. They should have been allowed to fall on their faces like we wanted them to, but they weren't. And we know the same thing is true about the climate, that this is all a hoax. But these people keep talking like we're listening. All these politicians, the Federal Reserve, all these people, they're delusional. And we've got to not be like them. We've got to jump ship, man. We've got to say, you know what, this whole thing is going to hit a breaking point. It's going to hit a pinnacle. It's going to hit a crescendo, okay? And it's all going to come to a head. The tide most definitely will turn. The worm will turn, okay? And this pseudo-reality will be turned on its head, and we're going to have true reality that is going to be imposed on this earth through the will of God. And he's trying to do it gently, but we've got to listen to the voice of idealism, like it is written, be ye perfect, as your Father in heaven is perfect. And instead of doing what you've been trained to do and thinking that idealists are stupid pipe dreamers and they believe in utopia of some sort, that this could never happen because the heart of men is too wicked. Understand this. Those men with the wicked hearts will not be there. They aren't going to be worthy to inherit a world where we don't have evil ruling over us. Okay, they're not going to be there. So unless you are an idealist, you're not going to be found worthy. Okay, if you're withholding anything from God, understand this, you're not going to be there. Everything belongs to God. Your soul belongs to God. Your body your heart, your mind, your spirit, your soul, all your possessions, all your money belongs to God. And that's the truth that you should embrace, okay? Because that's a truth that's going to be the salvation of your soul. That's going to determine where you go from here. Because I feel like I'm already there safely. I can't stand my life in this world. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about this worldly paradigm that's been invented, conjured up for us. I can't stand it. So I know I'm going to be accepted into that paradise. And you can know that too. Just by saying, I denounce it. I denounce it. I will serve for free. I just want to be free. I want my kids to be free. I want us all to be safe, secure. I want us not to be stifled and beholden to our cruel overlords, the money masters, to Satan. That's it. And all their minions of the establishment. Okay? And they have a critical mass still, but they're going to lose that critical mass of establishmentarians. And that's going to be a terrible time. When so many people say, I see the fraud and I've been a part of the establishment, but I'm not anymore. That's it. I'm divesting from this evil establishment. I don't want any part of the blood money from Wall Street, from dubious warfare, and all the other ways that is coming. I don't want these mutual funds because I know it's ill-gotten gain. And I just want to do what's right and proper in His sight. I want to please Him above all because I know He's the granter of true happiness. And the only way I'm ever going to be truly happy in this life or in the life to come is by His approval, first and foremost. And that's where we should all look, find true happiness, is through His opinion of us and our thinking. And we all have equal access to that. Because of this conjured up pseudo-reality predicated upon a lie, we have this worldwide, a universal schism, which is this paradox, which is understanding like it is written, that, we're all in the world. We're stuck in this worldly paradigm, but we're told not to be of the world. So it's very difficult. Once you break away from this schism and you say, no, I'm devoted to the one master, like it's written, you cannot have two masters. Who are these two masters? It would be Satan and it would be the Most High, Almighty God, Creator God. Those are the two masters that compete for our affection and our attention, that compete for our trust and compete for our treasure and our value and everything about us, that want us, basically, that want our essence, that want our substance, that want to form our character and our personalities. God is vying for that, and evil is vying for that. And how does Satan work? It's through the money. So the money and Satan are one thing. Jesus clearly pointed this out. So understand, you can't do it. These are when Jesus says it can't be done, that means this is an immutable law. Again, it's mathematics. There's only one right answer, so it's reasonable and it's logical to suggest these things and to teach these things. So the only hope is that to come out of this paradox, this inverted reality, this schism, is to get a clear picture, a clear view. And again, the only way that any of us can do that is through consulting God Almighty, through our conscience, through our imagination, and say, God, help me. I feel unworthy. I feel pathetic. I feel pitiable as a human being. I'm frail. I feel weak. Okay? I lack so many things, so many strengths and good qualities that I wish I had. And I feel like I'm unworthy to speak for you. Okay? This is how I personally feel. And we all can say those same things. That's the humanness in us coming out. And God is fully aware of our humanness. He's fully aware that it is very important that He treat us with kid's glove. That's this gloves. That is this mercy. This is this abounding faith. This incredible grace, like it is written in the song, Amazing Grace. Okay, and how sweet that is to know that He still loves us. He empathizes with us. He taught us what empathy means. He taught us what compassion means and sympathy. Okay, and how to treat somebody tenderly. And don't get mad at people because, of their emotions. Understand your emotions are valid. Validate other people's emotions. When people feel angry, when people feel fearful, don't say, well, don't be that way. When people are insecure, when they're anxious, understand what's at the root of that. It's evil is at the root of that. Satan is at the root of that. This money-based reality is at the root of that. The money is at the root of all the evil, all the depression that we go through, all the sadness, everything that's bad. This is the problem. It was trickery in the beginning. The fall of man was all trickery. And the money is an exemplification of that same trickery that's going on today. It was a half-truth. It was deceit. It was a lie from the pit of hell. And this whole idea that money is innocent and, it facilitates exchange and it's capital and it's capitalism. It's all lies. It's all a way to subjugate people. Like I pointed out earlier, folks, if that was the case, then the people that are most important, according to the world's greatest capitalists like Adam Smith, the greatest teachers of economic principle, who pointed out that labor is obviously, clearly, axiomatically, irrefutably, incontrovertibly, every nation's single greatest asset. Labor means labor. That doesn't mean only educated labor. That means labor, period. All those people doing those mundane, tedious jobs out there that don't take a lot of training, that don't take a lot of education. Okay? Those are every nation's single greatest asset. So if we're going to financially exalt someone, let's do it in a logical fashion. Let's exalt the farm workers, the truck drivers, okay? And all those others I listed previously. But don't exalt people that are just big fat leeches just because they've got the copyrights to the money printing presses or are rubbing elbows with those people. They're doing nothing for us, bringing us propaganda, lies, and deceit, and perpetuating all these things, perpetuating the confusion, the Babylon effect. Okay, and telling you, no, it's just, look, this is it. We're doing the best we can, but the heart of man is wicked, so we got these terrorists. It has nothing to do with money. It has to do with religion. It has to do with nuts, psychos, and these people are demon-possessed, whatever, but, don't look at the money aspect at all. Don't look at the criminals are just defectives, man. Don't listen to this guy that tells you that, the vast majority is crime committed because of financial desperation. Don't listen to this guy that they couldn't get away with all these dubious wars and all these mercenaries that will do anything for anyone just for money because of money. Don't listen to him. No, these are people doing it because this is logical. Everybody needs money. So these mercenaries, they've rationalized it reasonably to appease their conscience, and their truths are different from your truths. So, don't judge them. Don't condemn them. They're doing what they want to do, and it makes sense. It's common sense. It's this guy that's talking to you right now. He's the nut that doesn't make sense. That's telling you that all the problems could be solved if we just get to the bottom of the money issue. Okay? That debt wouldn't exist if we didn't have this money thing. Okay, how does that facilitate exchange? It's all lies from the pit of hell. Okay? It's all made up. Hell, my last name is Credit. But that didn't used to mean what it means today. I mean, the name's been besmirched. Credit used to mean a good thing, like honor. Okay? But, this whole idea of credit, oh, well, I hate credit now. I'm so sad, angry at the bank gave me credit because, now I went out and bought this house that I couldn't afford on these liar loans and this fine print that was trickery. And now I'm stuck with this great debt, so I hate credit. But it used to mean something good. Okay? And now it's not. But you know what? It's all about the money, folks. It's all about the money, the debt. This is how they get away with it. This is how they subjugate people. This is how they invert reality. And I'm telling you, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I have no faith in the political system. I could care less. Just like the people at the top of the economic food chain could care less if you're a liberal, if you're a conservative, if you're a Democrat, Republican, a socialist, a communist, a capitalist. They don't care. And God doesn't care either. And I don't care. Okay, what you are. Okay, all I'm saying is that if we don't seize the money printing presses, and I'm talking out there, I'm appealing to law enforcement, because you're in a position of power. You're in a position to tell your boss no, because you're getting orders from politicians, right? Lawmakers, courts and all that stuff, mayors, right? It's all handed down. You watch the news, you learn. Your boss has told you, he got it from his boss, and on and on.